upstairs, downstairs, whatever. And so I'm in the hallway on the stairs, playing with my cousin, having. And the little girl downstairs came out, you know, and so we got to playing around and stuff like that. But she had like a little blanket with her, so we get up under the blanket and in some kind of way, at that time we just, I don't know where, I just, started feeling on the girl, and she was older than me, maybe a year or two older than me. And she was just letting me have fun. I was like, damn, this was deep, and of course, like I say, the previous year I had seen my cousins do it, so, but this one was willingly, wantingly, actually, wanted me to play a funder with her. And so I was just having fun, and I truly think that there was an older person in that house was messing with that girl, man, and they sent her out there to play with me, and so you can, if they did get caught, so you can say I did it. I took a cherry or whatever, and blame it on me, and it'd be a half truth and a half lie. I did, play with her, but I wasn't the one that initially took that cherry. And I think that person in that house sent that little girl out there because she was a little older than me, a little more advanced, and goaded me into, having that kind of fun with her, So I'm just saying the various dynamics that can be happening in a household of all sorts and kinds. You just never know how even children can be played on. Not only preyed on, but played on. And I think I was played, in that situation to give another older person an out, just in case bailout situation they get caught, so that's just my theory. I'm not really for certain how that happened, but it was kind of strange for that girl just come out there and just be so open with me like that, and so active, sexually like that at that age. So I think I was around 11 years old. She had to be at least 12 or 13, at least in my mind, I don't know. I just knew she could have been younger, but I just knew she was more advanced than me. At whatever age she was more advanced than me when it came to sexuality and stuff like that, actually being physically involved and engaged in the sexual acts and stuff like that. She was way more advanced than me. Actually, she was the one to kind of like introduce me, really, in a more, as you would say, a consensual way, and so after she go back in the house, after we having fun, my little female cousin was, she was sitting there all the time watching. But I'm thinking, because we under the cover, me and the other girl under the cover, she don't know what's going on. She can't see it. She can't see through the cover. But, she was smart. She was smart, she wasn't stupid. She knew what was going on. And when that other girl went back in the house, she said, well, do me. And, because, my sexual antenna was blown wide open, I was sexually charged to the moon, quite naturally, making a transition from one girl to another. It was just automatic in my childlike mind, you know. And I end up fondling my cousin, you know. And I'm just saying, how things how things repeats itself once it starts. You know, me being molested at a young age, and then me seeing my cousins, you know, rape a female, and and believing that it was okay. He was just having fun. And then shortly thereafter, this young girl in Chicago introduced herself to me and want to, be sexualized. And so automatically I'm following what I learned, what I seen, as a child. And so I went that way, because life situations dictated that I would go that way in the moment. Like I said, I didn't have no early development, from school nor from the family. No one taught me anything. No one talked to me about life, or, gave me some kind of ideas about morals and principles and values, and none of that stuff was ever talked in my home. So I was totally oblivious to a lot of things in life. Like I said, I was just reacting to life. I was just reacting. I wasn't thinking. I was just reacting to everything. And so, even though on the one hand, because of the one female was more aggressive, in pursuing me. And then I eventually, at the request of my cousin, end up transitioning from her to my cousin. And it was just, man, it was just, the patterning, the timing and the patterns falling back to back to back like that, And of course, it impacts your life, man. It impacts, how you develop, how you view women, how you view sex, how you view, or how you learn to not appreciate, other people to some degree. How you think that it might be okay to violate another person because you become numb, because you've been violated, and you become numb to the sensitivities of others. So when that happened, you don't feel the insult. You don't feel the disrespect that you're projecting on another person because you become numb because of what happened to you and what you have witnessed in your life at a young age as a child. But we don't know these things. You don't know. You're a child. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how these things are moving in your psychic and your emotions on a daily basis, dictating decisions and acting out behaviors that you don't even realize where they're coming from. You're just angry, you're upset, you're stealing, you just, you don't care about harming yourself in different ways because there's many different levels to self-harm. Some people, use drugs, drink, you know what I'm saying? Some people, cut their wrists, you know what I mean? Some people go to prison, you know, just put themselves in harm's way in so many different fashions, you know, that it's a vicious cycle. It's really a vicious cycle. So me going back, it's painful. It's painful for me to sit up here and tell you what I'm, my life story, with such transparency. Because, I've gotten some help, and I'm stronger now, I understand, why I did what I did. I ain't proud, and I ain't obviously nowhere near proud or happy with what I did, but I did what I did, and it is what it is, But I can assure you that everything I've done in my life has made me the man I am today, and I wouldn't change it for nothing. I wouldn't change who I am today for nothing in the world. Now, you might think I might be, a little insensitive, to those who I may have inflicted some harm upon on my journey. But I wouldn't take a chance. If I had a chance to do it all over again, I wouldn't take a chance on doing nothing different, because I don't want to be nobody else than who I am right now. I come to help the world. I come to make a difference. I still love the world, despite all the stuff I've been through. And I just want y'all to know, I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just scratching the surface, really. As we move into the second, and that was the beginning of the second decade at age 11 that I just described to you on my Chicago vacation. So we go back home to Memphis, and now I'm 12, going to junior high school. They had just built a brand new junior high right down the street from my home, called Vance Junior High School. It was a beautiful school. I went there just recently. When I went back to Memphis to go down and visit, it's like abandoned, but I can still see the remnants, because I can see through all the weeds and all that, because all the structure is still there, and I could just imagine the beauty of it when it first was built. It's still there. If somebody clean it up and bring it back to life, it's still there. It's just overshadowed by weeds and, graffiti and all those other things. It's like when you watch the movie, The Titanic, and then they take you back to the original ship, and then they go back, or they start out with the find of the Titanic in the bottom of the ocean. Then they go back and show you the original ship. It's kind of like that, And so at the age of, and so that was my junior high school. I was beginning to learn music. Accordion. I had this little accordion thing, looked like a clarinet. And I remember the first jingle that my music teacher taught us to play was, "Things go better with Coca-Cola. Things go better with Coke." Doop. And I found them notes, and I played that jingle, and I was excited. I was excited, man. I was like, man, I'm finna become a musician, man. This man finna teach me music theory, and I'm finna be somebody.